Wanted to do a quick story time video real fast. Um, this was in regard to, a contract situation that I had experienced before. Big healthcare firm, um, dealing with a lot of proprietary applications and things of that nature. And this is how managed service companies sometimes work. They usually don't give you, if you're working on a contract, they usually don't give you a lot of time. They don't give you a lot of time in advance to say, well, you're done with the contract and things of this nature. Now, if they want a notice from you, they like to have notices on weeks and weeks in advance. But in this case, this was different. I was working on one where a guy, I worked on with a couple guys, and one of the guys was tripping because he had a drug test issue. He didn't think he was going to pass the drug test. So he was trying to figure out ways around that kind of stuff. So you never want to put yourself in a position where your money is on the line because your habit is getting in the way of that. I didn't have that problem because I don't use, so me and the other contractors were having a discussion on what do we think is going on with this project. And the thing about the project is we kept asking the managed service provider over and over and over, is this a 6-month contract? Is this a 12-month contract? Is this a 6-month contract? Is this a 12-month contract? And they say, oh, it's 12 months, it's 12 months. Then they say 6, then they say 12, and they went back and forth, back and forth. So around that time, you need to be interviewing. Have the mentality of always available for hire. None of these companies are loyal. So one of the managers that was on this healthcare site for this healthcare firm, we were dealing with like insomnia and Postman and APIs and stuff like that. He's like, hey, look, don't have no loyalty to none of these companies, man. You need to worry about you because these companies going to be straight. And this is from somebody that was locally there, that was actually there. So going back to the company, you have like the client, then you have the managed service provider. Sometimes you have an agency. So it's all these different timesheets and things in and all of that. So when I went back to the managed service, they were like, okay, this is contract to hire. They never had any intention on hiring us. They weren't going to do it. They had no intention because it's cheaper for them to insource. They call it global insourcing. Consolidation is what they call it, global consolidation, where basically what they'll do is they'll hire people within, and then they might hire maybe 1 or 2 more contractors if need be, and then they'll cut everybody from the team. And you may have a week notice, 2 weeks notice, you may not have none. So they play those type of games and stuff like that. So there's a thing, and I talked about it in, I believe, my second book. My first book, it might have been, but my second book, I said, look, you can request, if they're letting you go somewhere, you can request full payment within 24 hours, and the Department of Labor has to back you. If you were terminated, they have to repay you. They have to, if within 24 hours of termination, they have to pay you. Now, if you quit, they got to pay you your regular pay cycle. But if they let you go, you can make a request, and it's better to do it beforehand if you know it. Make a request. I want all my money. I want all my money right then and there. Now, here's the kicker. They got 20 days to pay you. And any time beyond that 20 days that they don't pay you, I forgot what the statute says. You could look it up. Something in regards to termination. 24 hours, you could make a request that they have your check 24 hours upon termination, which is fair. If they have a plan on letting you go and they let you go, they should have your money right then and there. But a lot of times they don't like to do that because they want to make sure that they bill the customer and things of that nature. So what you do in that case, like I say, they have up to 20 days to pay you your money. And if they don't pay it by that time, they have to, according to the Department of Labor, they have to pay you each day that they don't pay. So a full day's work, let's say you make $300 or $400 or $500 a day, whatever the case may be, they got to pay you that per day. They have to pay you that per day. That's the law. Now, a lot of these agencies, I've had to get on agencies before because they basically said, we're just going to weasel around the law. A lot of these agencies had a lot of they had a lot of guys from India working there, and they had like immigrants working there, so they try to play you like you an H-1B visa person. And I had to get on their tail like, no, I'm a citizen. We're not going to play that game. You are going to pay me according to the law and order. We're going to have law and order here. You're not just going to scramble up me a bowl of rice and just give me some noodles and say, hey, you're going to wait. No. It doesn't work like that. And I've told them the Department of Labor will give you a call if you keep playing these games. And there's been times where they didn't have my money literally within 24 hours. So, but most companies, for the most part, they don't want to get into all of that. But when you get some of these little jive turkey agencies and stuff like that, sometimes they like to, they might be a little smaller than like the big firms, so they'll play with the money a little bit. Oh, well, we'll give it to you next pay cycle and all that, and you're like, no, I need my bread right now. So that's a little story. I'll talk about it more on the podcast. I got some more information coming up. So I want to break that down. I want to break down what happened. Somebody had a consolidation issue, global consolidation. We're going to talk about that next. So that's my story time for today.